Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where currently we are going to be entering orbit around Minmus. Where even is Minmus right now? It's probably around here somewhere. Ah, there it is. Okay, excellent. That's one thing that I liked about Juno New Origins. You could always guarantee that the planet you were orbiting would be down from where you are, but that's not the case in KSP. So we're going to be entering orbit here. We're going to grab some low science. We're not planning on landing on this flight. We will soon. But for now, we just need to orbit and grab science. So let's warp on forward to this point. I don't know why this button isn't clickable. Okay, now it is. I manually warped and unwarped. Sure. So that seems fine. We'll keep an eye on our current situation here. Why did this drop us out of... Oh, we're going to be starting our... Oh, right. We're still thrust limited at 0.5%. Let's change that. Okay, so I'm looking at our life support here, and things are looking great on the life support. We've got lots of life support for the time being. So I don't think we'll have any desiccated husks anytime soon, and that is absolutely fantastic. Let's lock to the node, and we've got about 50 seconds until we want to do this burn. Okay, so overshot that a little bit, but that's okay. We'll enter orbit here. We are currently still in space high, so I'm not sure where the boundary for in space low is. We'll go a little further than what we have here and take this down to maybe like 15 kilometers. That should be fine. So let's drop this on down, and we'll circularize at about 15 then. 15 should definitely be in low Minmus orbit, I think. We're still in space high here, which slightly surprises me. I've completely forgotten what my Minmus altitudes are. Excellent. So that's absolutely fine. Let's just bring this right on down. Okay. So we are getting into a decent orbit here. Of course, the periapsis is what we're interested in here, so let's let that flip on around. And 17... Oh, hang on. We're chasing the wrong node. I want to be on retrograde. Thank you very much. So we're going to head on around to retrograde here. We're currently at prograde. This is exactly not what we want. So just continue turning here. I'm going to physics warp as we turn. There we go. We were chasing the node there, and we were overshooting, so it was trying to take us the other direction. Okay, so let's just go to retrograde, and sure, 10 kilometers sounds good. So let's hop over here, and let's just get ourselves into a 10-kilometer orbit. Roughly circular. Perfect. This'll do. So, yep, that's absolutely close enough. We'll lock to that node, and let's get turned to it. We've got lots of Delta V left over, of course. We could definitely do a landing, but we are deliberately choosing not to at this point because of contracts. We will get a contract to do that. So we've entered orbit of Minmus, yes, and a stable orbit has indeed been achieved. Fantastic. And let's just orient right on around here. There we go, and warp around. 10.8 meters per second to enter orbit, and we're going to go into in-space low fairly soon here, and there we go. I'm going to cancel the time warp here. We're going to grab all of this data that we can. There we go. Material study, please. And I actually suppressed the results window, which I don't necessarily want to do. I do like to see these. Okay, so at this point, we are kind of tumbling. But that's not necessarily great. Let's put ourselves on the node, please. There we go. That'll be fine for now. So as we continue to do this, let's have Bob EVA here. I want to just put him here for the moment. I want to collect all of this data up here. There we go. And then Bob can head on in. And we're going to restore the Science Junior. And I want to hop down over a little further down there, Bob. There you go. Let's restore the Mystery Goo Containment Unit and conduct the materials study. Perfect. We're not orienting correctly, but that's okay. We'll observe the Mystery Goo, we'll collect this data and restore, and we're going to collect this data and restore. Then we will conduct the materials study once more. Can't quite reach the Mystery Goo, it seems. There we go. We'll observe that, and we'll keep that. So we'll store those exactly where they are. I believe we have as much data as we can carry now. So that looks good. Okay, let's hop right in. We're kind of tumbling a little bit, but let's head over to the node. There we go. Why are we tumbling right now? That's an interesting question. We are trying to get it under control. So it looks like MechJeb has got that reasonably under control there. Not docking mode. I want to be in... Here we go. Perfect. So that'll be fine. We're working our way around here. This burn is going to be in 17 minutes, and we're going to have some additional biomes to gather data from. So that'll be fine. We'll do an orbit or two, and then probably only the one orbit, and then we'll head on back. And we'll get a lot of data from this. Not as much as a landing will be, but this will still be a lot of data. This thing is pretty slow to turn. Okay, there we go. Let's warp forward, and I'm manually warping for right now. Because we want to be able to grab these EVA reports. Wow, this thing really jumped a lot there. I'm going to kill those physics. There we go. So that we don't have to counteract that. When we EVA'd there, I think he hit his head on this, and that's giving us a lot of momentum. It's a little awkward. We'll adjust that. Slopes. Excellent. Yeah, that's definitely giving us a lot of momentum. Okay, we'll reorient a little bit here. This is not reorienting. Now it is. Perfect. So yeah, this poor little gyroscope, it's struggling a little bit. No doubt about that. Well, we'll continue to warp forward here. We'll enter orbit shortly. Although technically this is good enough, but I do want to do a burn soon. Yeah, he's definitely hitting his head on this, and that's giving us some awkwardness. It's fine for now. We've got lots of time. So let's just continue forward for the moment. And we'll bring ourselves right on down here to about... Actually, we overshot this a bit. I was expecting us to have another biome transition there. Okay. So let's just gently bring this down. It doesn't matter too much that we overshot. It's okay. We just need to get down into low orbit, right? So I'm just gently burning here. We're not exactly on the node, but we are using the gimbal to help us turn a little bit. And this is good enough. So this is going to drift a fair amount here. No doubt about that. 0.8 meters per second. Let's just do... This is good enough. This is close enough. So that'll be fine. I'm going to put a maneuver node right here. And that's going to mark our orbital point. Excellent. So here's Great Flats. Let's grab our EVA report. Wonderful. What else do we have? Anything else that is a new biome? Yes, here's Highlands. Cool. We're not really going out of our way to get all of the science from all of this. We don't really need it, but we'll get what we can get from this particular orbit. So flats, I like it. Let's grab that. And what else do we have here? Greater flats. Cool. Yeah, we definitely need to adjust the solar panels on this. There's no doubt about that. Okay, we're just cruising right on around here. I think we've got pretty much all the biomes we're going to get. Yep, there's our timer expiring. Okay, fantastic. So let's pull out a warp, and at this point, we want to return back from Minmus. So I'm just getting my bearings here. We want to burn approximately here. This is going to be a pro-grade burn. And in terms of the return trajectory, it's just going to be... hang on. This is Minmus. Okay. That's just an escape velocity there. Right. Let's see. The free return trajectory definitely works around Moon. I was pretty sure it worked around Minmus as well, but maybe I'm wrong on that. Or maybe I just have my orientation wrong? Yeah, I just have my orientation wrong. This is working just fine. Okay, so that's about 1 million. Let's bring that right on down. I want to target about 30. Okay, so we can just continue to dial this in with the mouse wheel a little bit. There we go. That's exactly 30 kilometers. We're not going to nail that, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and lock to that node. And it's going to take us a little bit of time to turn to that, but we've got a lot of Delta V left for a radial retrograde and or re-entry burn. That'll be fine. We know that these solar panels are going to burn off on re-entry unless we're going really slow, but I don't think we're going to be going that slowly. So we're going to lose those solar panels. Should be fine. Okay, let's warp around and prepare ourselves for this burn. What's with all of the blurring? Is there like some sort of a... Hang on. I don't remember that being the case. Is this an anti-aliasing thing? I thought that the anti-aliasing in this was MSAA. But this is acting like it's like, I don't know, TAA or something. That's kind of wild. We'll see if moving it up to 8x anti-aliasing helps. Maybe just turning off anti-aliasing. We'll see. I don't know. I don't remember it going blurry like that in those motion periods. Okay, so we've got about 30 seconds. 20, 10, and 3, 2, 1, 0, mark. I also noticed that blurriness happening a fair amount when specifically moving orbital lines. The orbital lines are very, very hard to see, and I don't remember that being the case before either. I don't think there was a patch to KSP, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that. Maybe it's something weird that NVIDIA is doing with my graphics driver. Who knows? Maybe it decided to, like, universally apply TAA or something. I hope not. That would be very rude. At any rate, we've got about 10 seconds left in this burn. Nice moon encounter there. 20 meters per second. 10 meters per second. And just going to get this last little bit fairly accurately here. This is probably good enough. 32 kilometers. Yeah, that's fine. So that looks good. At this point, what we want to do is we want to warp to, well, basically the apoapsis. That's going to be in 1 day. So yeah, that's absolutely fine. Let's warp up to here and... Okay. So one thing I want to check. And yeah, you can see here, there's definitely like some blurring happening there. I'm going to try completely turning off anti-aliasing. And seeing if that changes anything. So a maneuver here would look... Okay, this line is not actually changing very much, but yeah, it's still definitely having some issues there. I think this might be a graphics driver thing. I don't know, that's wacky. I'm going to turn the anti-aliasing back on. I like having it on about 4x. 8x can cause some slowdowns when we get to very complicated scenes, but 4x is usually pretty okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to look into that. I think my video driver might be doing something funky that I'm not necessarily okay with it doing. So I'm going to do a radial retrograde burn about here. We're just going to be targeting a periapsis of about 30 kilometers. And this is going to be coming in currently on the night side, but we can adjust that. Yeah, something about like this or so. 28, 29, and 30. Something about like this. So that would be an apoapsis of about 80 kilometers. This is about correct. Should be fine. Yeah, I need to look into graphics drivers doing things that they shouldn't do, for sure. I'm not noticing it in other games. This is just in KSP, so I don't know. Hang on. I'm just opening up the NVIDIA settings right now. NVIDIA control panel. What do we got? That took a while to open. Okay, so that's understood. Let's check in here. This should be under somewhere here. Okay, I'm going to be right back. I'm not going to make you sit through this. Well, I didn't find anything in the NVIDIA settings. I don't know. It's very strange. Because if we warp to this, like what I'm talking about, I don't know if this is going to come through on the video, but watch the stars, like the skybox back here. To me, let's get started on this. Oh, we're warping incorrectly. Okay, let's get started on this now. So it's not doing it at this moment. There's definitely ghosting that I see on the moon here. 100% the moon is doing some ghosting. I'm not currently seeing it on the stars because they're not consistently moving, I think, right now. Okay. But yeah, there's definitely ghosting on the moon. I don't know if that's coming through on the video, but ooh, that looks really blurry. Yeah, I think NVIDIA's doing something. They should not be, but I think they are. So let's warp forward for now. We've got 40 seconds, 30, 20, 10, and we've got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, mark. Okay, so we're beginning our radial retrograde burn here. We're going to bleed off a very large amount of speed indeed. This is about 4 minutes before the periapsis. You can see our periapsis height is going up right now. That's normal. It will go down in the back half of this burn. So that looks fine for the moment. We'll just pin here for now. And this is going to be roughly a 4-minute burn, so we should probably physics warp this, actually. We're quite high up. I will stop the physics warp if we hit the atmosphere, but we shouldn't. We should not hit the atmosphere here. Well, I mean, we will, but not during this burn. So you can see here, periapsis height is about 60 kilometers. That looks good. And we're continuing to slow down considerably. If we check our current situation here, yep, definitely an improvement. Okay, so everything is looking good there. You can see periapsis height is currently above the atmosphere. That will start going down very, very soon here. Actually expected it to have started to go down by now, but it hasn't yet. That's okay. We're still significantly reducing our apoapsis height. This is looking good. It's going to start going down very shortly, though. Time to periapsis is currently increasing. Hilarious. Okay, so now it's going down. This went down very, very late in the burn, indeed. Okay, that's fine. So we'll just get this last little bit of DV here. Really, all we need to do is we need to lock to retrograde here, get rid of this guy, and just put our periapsis height at about 30 kilometers. So that's 50. I mean, we're going to be arrow captured at this point, guaranteed. We have a lot of Delta V left in this. We could try to recover all of this. I'm not sure how that's going to go. There's a lot of mass, and we'll see what our parachute weight feels like. But 30 kilometers now. Okay, beautiful. So we're going to be coming in probably, I'm going to guess, on the dark side, somewhere over here. Let's just warp forward until we hit the atmosphere. Okay, so let's go to surface velocity minus here. We can grab an atmospheric analysis here, which is absolutely fine to do. And we'll collect any of that data that we can. And I want to reclose this service bay. Okay. So we're just slowly working on orienting our way around. Hopefully we hold attitude, because this reaction wheel is struggling with this amount of mass, but that's absolutely fine for now. Yeah, for the moment, we're doing okay on that. If we start losing attitude, we'll have to do a re-entry burn. We've got lots of fuel for that, and in fact, we probably want to do a bit of a re-entry burn, but I want to let this coast as long as... Okay, we're definitely coming down on the dark side. 100%. This is water right here, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's open this guy. Apparently we can't do this atmospheric analysis. It must have already been stored. Transfer the data to here? Yeah, it's already stored in this module. So that means that we can't grab this other analysis. That's fine. We'll get it on different flights. Now that we are entering the ocean here, I think that we should do a re-entry burn. Drop some mass here at the very least, and let's slow ourselves down. Maybe we can rescue these parachutes. That'd be funny. Or not parachutes, these solar panels. They're not going to survive, almost certainly. I'd be shocked if they survived. We don't need the vessel open here. There we go. Cool. So that all looks fine for now. We'll do a re-entry burn and definitely shave off a good amount of this fuel. So burn time is going to be a while. So we can slow down quite a bit. As you can see, our thrust to weight, not phenomenal here, but that's to be expected. For the moment, I'm going to pin open these drogue chutes. We're going to try to rescue more than our normal amount because we had lots of spare Delta V for this mission. So that seems absolutely fine. We're not going to do this via the staging, so I'll just pre-open those. And we can see our radial mount drogue chutes are currently considered risky to open, and that's absolutely understood. We've got about 40 seconds of burn time left here, so let's just continue to decelerate. We're still moving pretty quick here, but we're also still pretty high up. So that looks good for now. Yeah, these just ticked over to unsafe, which we would absolutely expect at this point. We should not be in a situation where it's safe to deploy at this point. I'm actually kind of shocked that these photovoltaic panels haven't broken off yet. But I mean, we're going pretty slowly now, so that looks fine. We're about to run out of fuel in these side tanks. There we go. We're now out of fuel in the side tanks, and we're now pulling fuel exclusively from this center tank. So I'm going to want to keep some amount of that fuel around, for sure. But we're going to try to recover this entire contraption at this point. That would be a good thing to do. And we can also close this service bay. There we go. So everything is looking fine for now. We're currently starting to see some plasma. Again, we're going to see these solar panels destroyed. Almost guaranteed. I think it's very, very unlikely that that doesn't happen. We're moving pretty slowly, to be sure. But we'll see. So we're down to about 1440 meters per second. Continuing to burn here and slow ourselves down, but we're mostly... Yeah, there they go. That's not surprising. 2 of them are still there, though, which is a little surprising, but I guess they're more edgewise at this point, just due to the sun's orientation. So that makes sense. There they go. Yeah, not shocked on that one at all. So we're just going to continue to burn here for a little bit. We're crossing down below 1 kilometer per second now. And we're going to be able to deploy these drogue chutes quite soon. Now we can. Drogues are out. And I'm going to keep around 10 fuel for our landing. That'll be fine. But I do want to reduce our mass as much as possible here. So that all looks fine for the moment, and we don't need to have this on anymore. Parachutes will hold us in the correct attitude. We'll get this parachute out here. We've burnt almost all of our fuel. I'm cutting the engines for now, and we're going to continue to drift downward. Our parachutes will, of course, slow us some amount. The question is, what amount? We're spinning a little bit, which is interesting. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit before these chutes are deployed. Let's go ahead and warp down. We're definitely spinning a bit. It's fine. That's not a big concern. Drogues are going to deploy now, putting us at about 32 meters per second. Not bad. And the main chute is going to deploy shortly, bringing us down to about 13 meters per second. This should be completely safe for a water landing. We will cushion this a little bit. Okay, taking us out of warp for now. And we're about 100 meters up. Commencing landing burn now. Cool. Apparently we don't have a surface sample here. We may as well have Bob EVA and grab that. So that looks good. And at this point, let's recover our vessel. That should be a lot of science for us. A decent chunk, anyway. What, probably like several hundred at least? It's going to be quite a bit. We got a lot of data from that. So that looks absolutely fantastic, and next we should get a mission to land on Minmus, which we're already ready to do with that vehicle. We're absolutely prepared to do that. So yeah, 604 science, not bad. Not bad at all. Cool. So that looks absolutely fantastic for now. Let's hop into mission control, and this is, yep, definitely land on Minmus. And we'll return from that too. We have a number of contracts to do this. Apparently, it is time. Not entirely sure why, but here we are. Well, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to struggle to do the outro a bit, because, Yeah, my voice has decided this is a time to stop. It's okay. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time when hopefully I won't be dying. That would be nice.